Stand up London, what is up? Thank you for being on time. We have a very exciting announcement for you. I don't need to say any more, I'm barely holding my excitement in, so please pay attention to the big screen.
The fighting pride of Liverpool, England.
He's dangerous, he's young, he's undefeated.
I am the best striker in the welterweight division. In fact, in the whole of the UFC.
What a performance by the Liverpudlian.
What a stoppage! Darren Till gets the opportunity and takes it with both hands.
Liverpool, England. Make some noise if you are ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, Darren Till! So that's the official announcement. UFC Liverpool is happening. As you can imagine, this guy is going to be main event, the star attraction. You're pretty excited. You've been holding this in for about a day now, and I can see it bouncing out of you. Come on, talk to me about it.
My heart's pumping, mate. I don't know what to say. Words can't describe it. It doesn't do it justice, words. So it's coming, and I'm going to be the first scouser to ever have done it. In 200 years, they're going to remember my name in combat sports in Liverpool. So I'm going to take someone's chin off in Liverpool. That's what's happening.
I'm glad that you're all excited. To be honest, Liverpool at the moment is absolutely heaving for MMA talent. There's a load of good guys in your gym.
Yeah.
There's a load of good guys coming through on Cage Warriors. Talk to me about what it means for the city of Liverpool to get all these fighters on there.
In my gym, there's loads of guys. There's Michael Grundy, there's Tom, there's the guy just fought on Cage Warriors, Paddy, Molly. There's millions of guys. Danny at the back's fighting tomorrow. There's so many guys. It's just going to do so much for Liverpool. It's never happened, and I just feel like jumping into the crowd.
and how many times have you envisaged that walkout? I mean, the Echo's never been sold out. Is that correct?
In combat sport, it's never been sold in boxing or MMA or whatever, and in 60 seconds it'll be sold out when it gets announced. So I know I know what's going to happen, and I've dreamed all this, Dan, and it's coming through hard work and a good mentality, and you know, I don't know, I just don't know.
It's very exciting. So we've got some media, and I think we've got some questions from the media. Anybody? Can I see a microphone somewhere? Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, Darren, obviously we're just finding out that you're going to be on this card, and just it's going to be in Liverpool. The obvious question is, who's going to be on the other side of the cage?
Wonder Boy. It's not about anything. I want to fight everyone in the division to prove I'm the best, but you know, I consider Wonder Boy one of the best strikers in the UFC, and I want to see if my striking can outstrike his striking. You know, he comes from karate, I come from Muay Thai, and I know I can outsmart him. I know I can knock him out. I know that.
I know that's the fight you want. Have UFC officials, have they given you any indication that that'll be the fight that happens?
Sorry, what was that?
Have they indicated that that's the fight you will get?
I don't know, mate. Anyone in the top 10, anyone. Wonder Boy, if he doesn't accept, there's other guys. You know, I've asked for everyone, and I just want to fight anyone. It's not a thing of calling this guy out, and I just want to fight them all to prove I'm the best. It's not about getting to the title the quickest, because, you know, some guys, they want a short route to get there because they're scared, and they get the title and they're scared to lose it. I want to prove that I am the best, so I want to fight all, you know, against all mixed martial artists to prove I am the best. That is my mentality, you know, about it. I don't feel like after this fight or another fight I'll deserve a title. I want to work my way up, beating every guy the honest way.
Thanks.
So you picked Wonder Boy out as your ideal opponent, but ultimately you want to be proved to be the best striker in the division. So if we look at some of the other strikers out there, they got the likes of Robbie Lawler would be a nice one, you know, the Masvidals, the RDAs out there. Do you think there's a person that makes a bad fight in the top 10?
No, as I say, Dan, I do believe I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and you know they're names that don't get mentioned enough. You know, like I've said Wonder Boy, but like you said, then Lawler and Masvidal. Like Masvidal just sits in the background, no one mentions his name, but he comes, he's game as fuck. Like I'm game. Me and him will just try and take each other's heads off for 5 rounds, be a bloodbath, and then Liverpool will just go mad for it. So you know, people like him and Lawler, that's who I want to fight if I can't get the Wonder Boy fight.
So Wonder Boy's not confirmed yet. We're still waiting on that. I have heard a rumour that it's going to be a top 10 fighter. We do know that. Obviously, the top 10 division's all up open at the moment. There's a lot of good matchups for you there. But expressing a need for a striker, I think it's a good idea. Well, obviously, the Liverpool crowd are going to love you banging heads with someone else in the division.
Just elbows, just a 5-round elbow war.
Is that the rule? Elbows only?
Just elbows only.
Do we have another question from the media? Any more questions from the media? No? I thought Jim Edwards had one. Where are you, my friend? You got one? There we go. Where's Nick P? I thought he'd be bouncing on his chair.
Shit house.
Darren, do you want to give us a prediction on how quickly you think this is going to sell out?
60 seconds, Jim. The fastest sellout ever, I'm telling you. Trust me. Dana's on record talking about Dublin. And, you know, I've fought in Dublin in 2015, and the Scousers are going to top any event that's ever happened in the UFC. I am very confident about that. It's just going to be ridiculous, trust me. 13,000 people standing up, throwing pints at each other in that arena. That's what's going to happen.
And just lastly, was there something you actually dreamed of? Is this something you can actually kind of tick off the bucket list, I guess, that you had for your career?
Yeah, Vegas and that happens, doesn't it? And the Madison Square Garden, and I'm a Scouser. I don't know for how many years they've wanted to bring it to Liverpool. I remember when I was coming up, and like one of my inspirations, Terry, you know, they were going to come because of him, and then it's never been done, and then now it's getting done because of me. As I say, mate, in 200 years when they talk about MMA in Liverpool, my name will get mentioned, and you know, at 25, mate, I can't say much more about that.
And just one last cheeky one. What's Dan just said there, the contract isn't signed with Wonder Boy, so what's the message to him sitting at home right now?
Sorry, mate, I didn't catch that.
What's the message to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson?
Sign it and come and prove that. I'm just like, you know, a one-hit wonder that everyone just says that. They just see me come on the scene now and beat Sony, but they haven't seen what I've done for 15 years before that. Just come and prove that I'm this one-hit wonder. You know, come and prove that your striking's better than mine. And you know, he says that, you know, I've got to work my way up, but when he fought Hendricks, he was ranked 10th and Hendricks was 2, so give me that opportunity to prove that I can beat you.
We were talking about this earlier, actually, about how the Cowboy fight jumped you so far up in people's estimations of you. And I mean, it's a credit to Cowboy, really, to show how people respect him, but...
I just feel like people are sort of banging on the head about it now. Like, to me, that fight was over a week later. Like, and I know there's been created a lot of hype, and that's great. If people want to hype me up and hype me down, I couldn't really care. But I just want to fight now and prove that I am the best. That, you know, Cerrone's over. The guys I beat before that are over. I'm 16-0. No one's beat me yet. Do you know what I mean? You can say what you want, but no one's beat me. And I just want to prove that I'm the best. So people can keep talking about Cerrone. I just want to fight the next guy. Now, I forgot about Cerrone. Cerrone's in the past. He was dead in the first round. That's it.
So there's some relief here for you. Now you can start thinking about the future and moving past that Cerrone.
Yeah. I don't want to get asked the Cerrone question no more. I want to get asked about Wonder Boy and Dos Anjos and Masvidal. I want to fight them guys.
Yeah. It's the deepest division really out there at the moment.
It's the hardest division.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. You know, there's loads of names. People don't mention Usman, Gunnar, Damien.
Yeah, Ponzinibbio's up there.
Ponzinibbio, Woodley. They're all guys. It's just the hardest division. And I'm amongst them, and I want to prove I'm the best amongst them.
Absolutely. Right, I think we've got another question. Please fire away.
Obviously, this is the first time that... over here.
Sorry?
In the middle.
Right down the front.
Down here.
Sorry.
This is the first time that the UFC is going to Liverpool. There's a lot of up-and-coming talent. Are you hoping for any local fighters to be on that card as well? Maybe anyone that you train with? Yeah,
I have to talk about my teammates. Michael Grundy there's a lot of like stuff going on in MMA now, like boxers coming to MMA and MMA going to box and whatever, and these are celebrities who've got millions of pounds, and you've got a teammate like my teammate Michael Grundy, who's wrestled in the Olympics, and he's just an honest, hard-working guy who's beaten everyone. He's number one in England, and he just wants that one shot. If he gets to UFC and gets 3 defeats, it doesn't matter, as long as he gets his shot. He deserves his shot more than the CM Punks of MMA. He deserves it. CM Punk's got millions of pounds.
And you feel like you're opening the door for these fighters. I mean, you know, obviously the UFC is going to Liverpool now, so we're going to be looking at pulling in some of that local talent, of which there's a lot. I mean, we were at Cage Warriors the other week with Paddy and Molly fighting, and the atmosphere is crazy. Yeah, and it was half of the arena sold down. You seen what? I think they wrecked the set and that, didn't they? So you just see what it is. That was when they saw you. Saw me. I wrecked it with them. Yeah, but then they put it back. That was the difference between some of the places we've been. So the Scousers knocked over all the set, knocked over the lights, the chairs, the railings and everything when Paddy won his fight, and then immediately put it all back. It was amazing. It was like, immediately all these kids in North Face jackets with, what's the haircut?
Fucking Ketwigs, is
The
it?
Ketwig, there you go. All these kids, but it was amazing to watch. So I'm expecting a real good atmosphere in there as well. We got another question?
Yeah. Question for both of you, actually. And Dan, I'd like you to kind of weigh on this first, if you don't mind. For those of us that were fortunate enough to be inside the arena, Dublin 2014, you know what we're talking about here. We've always wondered, what could be another event on this side of the world that can generate that kind of fan atmosphere inside the arena. Do you think Liverpool could top Dublin?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, Dublin was special because, Conor McGregor was just coming to his peak. The world was starting to realise what a phenomenon he was going to be. The same thing's happening here with Darren. The difference is that, Conor had a lot of teammates that came through, but the guys from Liverpool are making their own way in the sport without the assistance of that big figurehead. They don't need Darren Till to bring the UFC to Liverpool. It just so happens that Darren's going to be the figurehead while all these other fighters get to show their skills as well. So I think it's important that we also look at the other talent on the card because they're deserving of being in the UFC, without a main event fighter like Darren.
And just one more question, just for Darren. We spoke to Michael Bisping yesterday. He's adamant he wants his final fight to take place in England. He wants that fight to perhaps be this summer. This looks like an opportune time for him to perhaps co-main event. And it'll be a nice kind of passing of the torch, so to speak, where it's his retirement fight and it's kind of your coming out party. What do you think about that?
I don't think Bisping's like a co-main. I think if he's fighting, he's a main. I'm not ahead of him. But fucking Bisping co-mained or whatever, that's like a passing of the torch. I know he said he thinks I'm one of the guys from England who's the future, and a lot of respect there, and I feel like I am one of the guys who's the future, and if he wants to fight on it, and that'd be even bigger than what it's already going to be. I bet your Twitter's blowing up now, do you know what I mean? So it's going to be better than Dublin, trust me, 100%.
One more question, and then I have one more for you.
And there's so many great MMA fighters coming out of Liverpool now. Can you talk to us about the growth of MMA fighters from Liverpool?
Liverpool people, they're just tough people. They just love fighting, and they see a direction with it being boxing or MMA. And a kid can leave school and he can find inspiration from guys like Conor McGregor and Bisping and whatever, even myself if they do. So, they just love fighting, and they're just at the moment, MMA's evolving, it's just getting so good by the day. The kids are so good, you see them in the gym, and right now Liverpool's the hot pot for it all, you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be a card just full of Scousers, and there's going to be a girl Scouser on it in Molly, so heart's just racing, I just don't know.
Thank you for your question. So, we're at the O2 now. Let's switch gears because there's going to be a lot of time to get excited about these fights coming up.
It's time to get excited about London.
Yeah. So let's talk about the O2 Arena. Let's talk about this card tomorrow night. Pick one of the fights off it that you're most interested in and why.
The main event.
Okay.
I think Werdum just such a relaxed ground game, and he's got so much better with a stand-up. You've seen what he done when he fought Kane for the title, and then I was there in Rotterdam when Volkov fought against Struve, and he picked him apart and that. So I think it's just an interesting heavyweight match to see whether Werdum strikes with Volkov or tries to invite him into his guard. It's interesting heavyweight fight. I'm looking forward to the main event.
You're going to be stealing my job when you're done fighting, I can see it now. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise. The UFC Liverpool headliner, Darren Till. We'll be back in 2 seconds with the weigh-ins. Please stay in your seats.
Dude, this is our town, Gian Vellante. This is our city. I've never actually had batting practice with a professional team. Oh! So myself and the Heartthrob, we went over to meet the Rockettes. I was thinking of what do you put on Matt Serra's birthday cake?
Our pizza tour guide was this guy, Scott.
He carries around a thermometer in his pocket. You gotta get a wedgie for that.
We were expecting an all-out war. What we got was way better.
The two best strawweights in the world.
It's a dance for the wild.
I knew that I was going to knock her out. That's all I was focused on.
Nova units! Unbelievable!
It's slipping through my...
Rose was lucky in our first fight. I think she's a fluke.
Not this time.
You're seeing the entire arsenal of Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
This belt belongs to me.
Just constant punishment by Jędrzejczyk.
Joanna can believe whatever she wants. I really want to choke her out. Nobody's going to question anything.
This fight don't need no hype. I said that I was going to beat every single person in this division.
We have very big history. We have to know who's the best lightweight in the world.
I've called the bitch ass out numerous times. I'm already the #1 lightweight in the world.
I am undefeated all my career.
Khabib Nurmagomedov mauls people.
I'm going to smash him, make him quit, broke something.
Go ahead and jump on that bandwagon because that bitch is gonna sink. Once I hit you with my jab and use Case Nichols, I'll choke your bitch ass out.
When cage close, I'm gonna smash this guy.
Don't close your eyes.
Nights don't get bigger than this in London.
Werdum's without a doubt one of the best heavyweights of all time.
Looking for another shot at UFC gold.
Oh, he looks rocked.
Alexander Volkov looks to march towards title contendership.
That was amazing. One punch, Jimmy Manuel.
What's up, London? And that is it. It is all over. A finish will be served. UFC fans here in the O2 Arena, London, England, we'd like to welcome you to today's weigh-in for UFC Fight Night, Werdum versus Volkov. Tomorrow night, we've got two of the world's best heavyweights battling it out for title contention. As former UFC heavyweight champion Fabricio Werdum will do everything in his power to hand the first UFC loss to the red-hot Russian Alexander Drago Volkov. In the co-main event, London's own poster boy Jimmy Manuwa will engage in a rematch with Polish powerhouse Jan Blachowicz as both men strive to position themselves for a title shot in 2018. We would like to send a special welcome to our UFC Fight Club members joining us here today in London, England. We hope to see all of you right back here for the fights tomorrow night. And now it's the weigh-in for UFC Fight Night, Werdum versus Volkov. Here is Dan Harding.
Welcome to the UFC London weigh-ins. Let's get this show on the road. Please make some noise for the lovely Octagon girls, Carly and Luciana, the legend Bruce Buffer, Sean Shelby, Dave Shaw, Ricky Security. Come and join me up here, Ricky. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for these fighters. First up in the lightweight division, Nasrat Haqparast against Nad Narimani. First to the stage, the Smiler, Nad Narimani. 155 for Nad Narimani. And his opponent in the red corner, Nasrat Haqparast. for Nasrat Haqparast. Next up in the heavyweight division, Mark Godbeer versus Dmitry Sosnovsky. First up in the blue corner, Dmitry Sosnovsky. For Dmitry Sosnovsky. And his opponent in the red corner, Mark Hand of God Beer. For Mark Godbeer. Moving on to the lightweight division, Stevie Ray versus Cassia and Johnson. First to the stage in the blue corner, Cassia and Johnson. $155 for Cassia and Johnson. And his opponent in the red corner, Stevie Braveheart Ray. $156 for Stevie Ray. Moving on to the light heavyweight division, Paul Gray versus Magomed Ankalaev. First to the stage in the blue corner, Magomed Ankalaev. $205 for Magomed Ankalaev. And his opponent in the red corner, Paul Craig. $204 for Paul Craig. Next up in the featherweight division, Danny Henry versus Hakim Dawodu. First to the stage in the blue corner, Hakim Dawodu. 185 for Hakim Dawadu. And his opponent in the red corner, Danny Henry. $146 for Danny Henry. Next up in the welterweight division, Danny Roberts versus Oliver Enkamp. First to the stage in the blue corner, the future Oliver Enkamp. $171 for Oliver Enkamp. And his opponent in the red corner, Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts. $170 for Danny Roberts. And in the featured bout of the preliminary card in the middleweight division, John Phillips versus Charles Byrd. First to the stage in the blue corner, Charles Kid Dynamite Byrd. $184 for Charles Byrd. And his opponent in the red corner, the Welsh Wrecking Machine, John Phillips. Making his long-awaited UFC debut, $185 for John Phillips. And the first fight on the main card, Leon Edwards versus Peter Samata. First to the stage in the blue corner, Peter Samata. $171 for Peter Samata. And his opponent in the red corner, Leon Rocky Edwards. $170 for Leon Edwards. That's a great fight to kick off the main card. Moving on to the bantamweight division, Tom Duquesnoy versus Terrion Ware. First to the stage in the blue corner, Terrion Flash Ware. $136 for Terrion Ware. And his opponent in the red corner, the Fire Kid, Tom Duquesnoy. $135 for Tom Duquesnoy. Time for the co-main event of the evening. Jimmy Manuwa versus Jan Blachowicz. First to the stage in the blue corner, Jan Blachowicz. $205 for Jan Blachowicz. And his opponent in the red corner, Jimmy Poster Boy Manuwa. $205 for Jimmy Manuwa. It's time now to take a look at the two men involved in the main event of the evening.
I believe I'm the best in the world. I know the way to be a champion. And I know 2018 is my time again.
The main goal for me in the UFC is the belt. This is one of the belts I don't have yet. I'm very motivated to be a champion. And I'm feeling like this year it will happen.
Alexander Volkov is 6'7". He has real power. He throws great combinations. He's awesome at keeping you at range. He knows that he can knock out anyone in the heavyweight division.
Nice work here from Volkov.
Stu goes down.
That's it.
Wow.
Alexander Drago Volkov gets a TKO win.
I won 3 fights in a row in the UFC. I'm feeling better with every fight. And now I'm ready for my biggest challenge.
Alexander Volkov has all the skills to be an elite heavyweight contender. But in order to get there, you have to beat a contender. That's Fabricio Werdum, the former champion.
Werdum is without a doubt one of the best heavyweights of all time.
Most fighters with his world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skill set are methodical. They think position first. Fabricio Werdum threw a jumping sidekick against Travis Brown. He's incredibly entertaining. This guy who stood toe-to-toe with Mark Hunt and knocked him out.
Nice knee. Beautiful. And it's all over.
He's taken on the best and destroyed them.
Guillotine. Guillotine. Can he get it? He's tapping. He's tapping. It's all over.
Oh, he got it. Fabricio Werdum.
When I go inside the octagon, for sure I want to finish. I knocked out the guys, sometimes I finish the guys in the ground. This is my way. I want to finish for sure.
What a performance by Fabricio Werdum.
I believe in myself a lot. Volkov is a very good fighter. He's a danger fighter, but I believe I beat him.
Armbar, that's it, that's it.
Fabricio is very good in Jiu-Jitsu, but every fight starts on the feet, and in stand-up I'm one of the best in the world.
Oh, Volkov throwing hands here.
I sweat a lot of blood, sweat, and the one who has the hardest spirit will win this fight.
It's a very dangerous fight. It's no easily, but I got it for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, Alexander Drago Volkov. $246 for Alexander Volkov. And his opponent, the former UFC heavyweight champion of the world, Fabricio Werdum. 49 for Fabricio Werdum. Okay, let me get a quick question with Volkov first. So, a huge opportunity, a former UFC heavyweight champion, an opportunity to jump up the rankings. What does this opportunity mean to you?
This everything for me. Big thanks for this opportunity to UFC. So, but my weapons are loaded. I'm waiting for this fight, and I'm very excited with this.
Good luck tomorrow. We'll see you there. And Fabricio Werdum, here we are again. Another rising challenger, another prospect. You're again defending your position in the top 5 against one of these rising prospects. Tell me what you see about him that's dangerous, and how do you defend that position?
And I just say, man, big show for you guys tomorrow, big fight. I can't say bad things about him. He's a nice guy, but for sure, I guarantee for you guys, big show. Hey!
Good luck tomorrow. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Fabricio Werdum. Thank you very much for joining us. Stick around. We'll be back in a second with Michael Bisping and Paige VanZant for the Q&A. I'll see you in 2 seconds. Thank you.
Nights don't get bigger than this in London.
Werdum's without a doubt one of the best heavyweights of all time.
Looking for another shot at UFC gold.
Oh, it looks rocked.
Alexander Volkov looks to march towards title contendership.
That was amazing. One punch, Jimmy Manuel.
What's up, London? And that is it. It is all over. A finish will be served. UFC history, 2 titles.
An excellent fight between 2 of the very best, and a rematch that everybody wants to see.
I cannot wait. Get me to New York.
I'm undefeated all my career.
This guy's gonna get his first loss.
Let's go.
Bring it.
Joanna, I'm coming for you. Be careful. I will be back stronger. I want my belt back.
Biggest night of the year today. It does not get any better.
Corrupt, and it's time to choose. We got some running drugs that can't be touched unless you want to handle the dirt. It'll mean so much. I said I got this. Message received. I'ma clean up the block like you wouldn't believe. Call me Mr. Clean, aka Stop Piano. 9 years later, slid across the Verrazano. Clean sweep, apply pressure to the scum. This is my town. Stapleton's where I'm from. Throat chop, slapped in the head with a juice box. Grenade with no pin in his mouth. This is my block, and bamboo. With this is absurd. I'ma handle my beeswax, that's my word. I came up out the darkness, searching for light. I know home is where my heart is, but now nothing seems right. I try to make peace and cut my losses and carry on somehow, but I've come much too far and it's too late to turn back now. Here I go again. Here I go.
Different. Yeah, welcome home, Starks. Remember us at the jams in the parks. Old gold guzzlers, Wallaby Clarks. Young cold hustlers, obviously sharp. Boom with a purpose to bloom. So in tune, dialogue like disciples in a circle of goons. My ace boom. Then you got sent to the tombs and went left, had to pinch my flesh and figure some other scheme to get cream, reign supreme. You know everything ain't what it seems, so I switched up sides, had to switch up lies. Now for life and rip her thighs. A badge and a gun that's legal is more lethal than any local dealer that's evil, leading peoples. The sequel, me and you both can split a loaf. Just need you a little closer, you could squeeze that toast and knock off targets, starting with the hardest. By next year, we be the largest. Felonies done with no charges.
I came up out the darkness, searching for light. I know home is where my heart is, but now nothing seems right. I try to make peace and cut my losses and carry on somehow, but I've come much too far and it's too late to turn back now. Here I go again.
a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I done been through a whole lot. Trial, tribulation, but I know God. Satan wanna put me in a bow tie. Pray that the holy water don't go dry, yeah. As I look around me, so many wanna down me, but enemy gon' never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me, and I love myself. The world is a ghetto, big guns and dick inside. I love myself, but they can do what they want whenever they want. I don't mind. I love myself. He said I gotta get up, like it's more than suicide. I love myself. One day at a time, sun go shine. Everybody looking at you crazy. What you gonna do? Lift up your head and keep moving. Or let the paranoia haunt you. Peace to fashion police, I wear my heart on my sleeve, let the runway start. You know the miserable do love company. What do you want from me?
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Very exciting Q&A for you guys today.
You know why you're here.
Please welcome.
Let's go.
The fourth time you fought him and you soccer kicked him in the face. Was that not one of the surreal moments of your life?
I'm going to take your hometown boy belt. Whoever's next, that's who I want to fight. CM Punk.
Yeah,
That's what he brings to the table.
Of course I think I'll be in line. How would I take the fight? We're on the same page. So we're normal. No, we're the only two out here. I have no idea. Next question.
I'm trying to keep up with Mr. Butler.
Okay, I'm very happy to be announcing these next two guests of mine. Please make some noise for Paige VanZant and Michael the Count Bisping. Great to see you. Thank you for both joining us.
Is that for me or for Paige?
What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? How you doing? Thanks, guys. Obviously, I was hoping to fight on this card. Kind of devastated that I'm not. As most people know, you know, I'm getting close to retirement. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I still love it, and I still want to fight here. Wasn't meant to be this time, but I'm here talking to you guys, which is not a bad second.
Nice to be here and not
love
get
you
punched in
too,
the
guys.
face.
And I mean that as well. I really do mean it. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be standing here. I wouldn't have had the life I've had. I wouldn't have had the career. It's literally down to the love from you guys, and I will take that to my grave.
Okay, we have two microphones set up. There's one just there, and then there's one over here as well. So if you've got a question for either of my guests...
Don't be shy, Paige. Come on, don't be shy.
Please join us. Paige has been giving Michael and I a tour of London. She knows all about the sites. You've been to see some castles.
I saw a castle yesterday. It was awesome.
Okay, we have a... Yes, sir. Please answer. Please ask us a question.
This is a question here for Michael.
Where are you? Put your hand up. Oh, there we go. There we go. My bad.
Yeah, man. Who would you like to face for your retirement fight? We know that Luke Rockhold has actually been calling you out again.
There is a certain... I don't really want to swear because we've got a few kids. But there's somebody that I've knocked out before that I think I might want to knock out again.
Yeah.
But that said, and I believe you all know who I'm talking about. And this week he was saying, sign the contract, Mike. Sign the contract. Trying to make it out like I was ducking him. So I tweeted him back. I'm like, what contract? Please present me with the contract. The location, the date, whatever it is. Because you're full of shit, Luke. It doesn't exist. Now, if I was presented one, that's a fight I wouldn't turn down. But that said, for my last fight, I'd rather have it be against somebody I respect. You know, of course, over the years, you know, I've been controversial, shall we say, but I'd rather fight somebody I respect, put my best foot forward. You know, not let myself down and talk the shit like I always do.
Good question. Thank you.
Oh, man, thanks.
Next question, please.
As we know, the next event is going to be in Liverpool. Can we expect to see you there?
These guys are excited. I think we've got a few Scousers over there. Obviously, that's not too far from where I'm from. What is the date for that?
May. Sometime May the 6th.
Early
yeah,
May.
You never know. I may.
I like it.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that actually does work into my timeline, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if the UFC make me an offer I can't refuse, well, then I can't refuse it.
Thank you. Good question. Next up, please.
Hello. Oh.
Hello.
Hi, this is for Mike. Would you fight Vitor, even though you hate him, but like in Liverpool?
What's that?
Would you fight Vitor?
Would I fight Vitor? Yeah, exactly. I echo that sentiment. Vitor Belfort's the type of person. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
Oh, we've missed you, Michael. We've missed you.
But, you know, I have no respect for that guy. Honestly, I don't want to share an octagon with him. I don't want to be associated with him whatsoever. I think he's the biggest hypocrite in the world. He's one of the biggest cheaters in the world. He's a total hypocrite. He talks about Jesus and things like that, but he's not a very good person. And he is one of the most prolific cheaters in this sport. And this is a sport for men. This is about martial arts. It's about testing yourself at the highest level. It's not who's got the best doctor and who can take the best steroids. So, once again, I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
Next question, please.
Let's have a question for Paige. Come on, she's standing there. She's looking beautiful. She's here. Come on, Dana, ask Paige a question.
Listening to him is great. I'm having a good time.
Who's going to take Paige out this weekend? Come on.
Me. I'll go on for Paige.
You'll have your own episode of Blind Date soon, Michael.
Paige,
we'll get you an episode of Blind Date. You can take over Priscilla Black. There you go. Next question, please.
This one's for Paige.
For Paige.
Yay.
Who do you have for the main event? I mean, the co-main event of Rose Namajunas and Joanna?
That's a great question. I'm super excited to watch Rose and Joanna fight again. You know, I went 5 rounds with Rose. She did beat me up. That's totally true, too. So I'm really excited for the fight. I want to see what happens, but I kind of think the same outcome could come again from that fight. I kind of see Rose taking it.
Did it surprise you the first time around? Were you surprised by the finish the first time around?
I was. I feel like going into that was the fight where I kind of had the bigger advantage towards Joanna, but I knew anything could happen, especially fighting Rose. I knew how hard she hit. So I don't know. I now seeing the fight, seeing Joanna tap out, I think Rose has it again, but I love them both, so I'm excited for the fight.
Excellent. Thank
Come
you.
on, let's have some good questions. Let's have a bit of fun here,
Next
guys.
question, please.
Oh, by the way, that was a great question, and that was a great
really
answer.
good question,
but, you know, let's not bore
Mike
ourselves.
needs challenging. Let's ask him some more challenging questions.
All right. Big fans of you both. And Michael, what do you think of the upcoming fight between Romero and Whittaker? And as your final fight, would you challenge Romero as your retirement fight, if you was to win?
Contrary to popular belief, because there's a lot of idiots out there, they say, oh, he was ducking Romero and this and that. When Whittaker fought Romero the first time, I went backstage with Dana White, and he offered me to coach the next Ultimate Fighter against the winner of that fight, which I accepted. So basically, in effect, I accepted the fight with Whittaker and Romero. But Whittaker didn't want to do the Ultimate Fighter. Of course, he won. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. I'm a badass. But the first fight, Romero, he went out there and he relied heavily on his wrestling. You know, and the Australians are kind of like the Brits. We're not known for our world-class wrestling, even though we can wrestle, of course, but we're not a powerhouse on the international stage for wrestling. And I think Romero thought he would take him down and have his way with him pretty easily. And because of that, he kind of gassed, and in the 5th round, he was exhausted. I think in the second fight, we're going to see a very different Romero. I think he's going to rely more on his striking, less wrestling, and I think it's going to be a very different fight. And I like Robert Whittaker. He's a great guy, really humble dude, fun to be around, amazing fighter. But if I had to put money on someone, I'd go with Romero. No offense, Rob.
Thanks very much, man.
Sorry, boys. Hey, have we got any kids here? And fuck Yoel Romero, okay? I don't like Yoel Romero, even though he loves me.
I love you, Mike!
Next question, please.
This is for Bisping.
I didn't know there was a little kid in here. Don't listen to anything I say. Where are you? Where are you, buddy?
Will you fight me for my belt?
Get yourself up here. Come on, let's have a go. Come on. I'm serious. Get on stage. Someone ask Paige a question while he gets... Round of applause for our... paperweight contender.
Come and join us, young man. You've been here several times before. I've signed lots of autographs, and I know all the fighters have met you before as well. I see you've got a belt with you this time as well.
Hello, mate.
Look
How
at
you
that.
doing, buddy?
Look at that. Look at all the signatures on the
What's
back
your
of that.
name?
Yeah.
Marshall.
Marshall. Come on. Right. Give me a jab. Boom. Right hand. Jab. Right hand. Boom.
Good work, Marshall. Good work, buddy. What's your last name, Marshall?
Johnson.
Jansen.
Round of applause
Ladies
for
and
Marshall,
gentlemen.
everybody. Can we get a picture? How old are you, bud?
10.
Round of applause for Marshall.
And the new strawweight champion of the world, Marshall Jansen. Got it? Good work, buddy. Thanks for your question.
See you, bud.
Every event this kid's there, he absolutely loves mixed martial arts. It's amazing to see you. Next question, please.
Hey guys, big fan. Michael, a lot of people are asking you, would you fight this person, would you fight that person? What I want to know is, who do you want to fight as your retirement?
Yeah. Do you know what, to be honest, I get asked that question a lot. I've done this for a long time. You know, I started martial arts when I was 8 years old. I'm almost 40 these days, which is kind of crazy. Me and Dan started training together back in 2003 in Nottingham. So we've been at this for a long, long time. And, you know, I've fought everyone. I've fought on every part of the world, every continent, all over the place. So really, there isn't, and I know this is a boring answer, there isn't someone that I'm striving to fight, you know? And that's another reason why, I mean, of course, I've done this a long time. I've had more fights than anyone in the UFC. I've had more wins than anyone in the UFC. I've won the belt. I've achieved what I set out to do, and I'm proud of my career. That said, I don't walk around thinking, I want to fight this guy, I want to fight that guy. You know, I'm getting old, man. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Understandable. So one more question. I was wondering, Dan Hardy, you said a while back you're looking to come back to the lightweight division and fight. I was wondering, is there any update on that, and who do you want to fight next?
What was that, Dan?
You have to step a bit closer to the
sorry.
mic. Can't you?
I was wondering, you said that Dan Hardy, you're going to step back into the octagon. That was a while back. I was wondering, when is that going to be, and who do you want that to be against?
I can't. Is the question for me, for Michael?
Yeah, no, it's for you, Dan Hardy.
For me?
Come on,
Dan. For
Dan.
me?
When you
Oh,
coming
okay,
back?
okay. Okay, I was going to say.
I want to fight the guy that bought you those pants.
Hey? Come on, Michael. Got to stand out. Got to, you know.
No, mate, you're rocking them.
Okay, thanks.
Good.
Thanks. You'll
Not
set
my
me up
style.
here now. It's a good question. It's a question I'm constantly asking myself. There's another fight in my future. I don't know when it is. I honestly don't know when it is. I don't know who it's going to be either. I quite like the idea of like a 162 weight class, so maybe I can get the first fight in that weight class or something, but we'll see. I've got a few ideas to talk to the UFC about, so hopefully I'll let you know soon. Thank you for your question. Next question, please.
You alright, Dan, mate?
How are you, mate?
Not bad, you alright?
Good.
I've got a question for Michael and for Paige, but my first question is for Michael the Count Bisping. What annoys
That
me
is
the
my
most...
name, thank you.
There we go. What annoys
Michael
me
Gavin Joseph Galen Bisping is my full name.
Oh,
Next
okay,
time,
sorry.
address me properly.
Nearly. One of the things that annoys me the most is people say you turn down fights. But believe
I've never
you
turned
me...
down a fight in my life. And you can ask Dana White, he'll verify that. Dan knows me. I'm not the type of guy that turns down fights. Sorry, what was your question?
Believe you me, I know you don't. But my question is, obviously, I think like you've got a good fight for you because everyone's asked you who you would want to fight. But I think a good fight would be against Jorge Masvidal because obviously you've got history and it'd be stylistically a good matchup. What do you think
Jorge
about that?
Masvidal has been beaten by 135-pound fighters. He's lost to lightweight fighters. I don't go around looking for low-hanging fruit. You know, he's not somebody that I like, and he sends me a lot of abuse via Instagram. He's always sending me messages. He's trying to get a fight. I'm not interested in Jorge Masvidal. I mean, in the words of Conor McGregor, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. I agree, but I think stylistically it'd be a good matchup. But I've got a question for Paige. Hi, Paige. You alright?
Hey. How's it going?
You alright?
Good.
What's up?
Now, I know you recently got engaged, so I won't say too much. But you are a little...
Thank you.
But you are a little firecracker, that's all I want to say.
Thank you.
I'm very nervous right now, But anyway, Obviously, in your last performance, it must have been frustrating for you because you couldn't, because of the injury, you couldn't obviously perform the way you wanted to. So the question is, when do you think you're going to be back, and who do you think it's going to be up against?
Yeah, so I just had surgery on my arm. I had like a titanium plate put in there and 7 screws. So I gotta wait. I think I'll be back in the octagon in like 6 months. I'm back sparring again, but I can only use my left hand. So about 3 more months until I can use my right arm, and then 6 months until I can get back in the octagon.
Nice. And that'd be a pretty good weapon, though, right? A titanium plate.
So now I'm gonna knock everybody out with it because it's titanium.
Last quick question. Sorry, Paige. It's St. Paddy's Day today.
Thank you.
Are you doing any...
Tomorrow!
Tomorrow. Sorry. Boo, yeah.
What are they doing now?
What's your plans for St. Paddy's Day tomorrow?
Sorry?
Well, have you got any plans for St. Paddy's Day tomorrow?
UFC. It's UFC tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, after that.
UFC?
Yeah, there's a big fight on.
I meant after, but okay, thank you very much. Cheers, Dan, mate.
We don't make plans for after events. No one knows what's going to happen.
Next.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Next question, please.
Hello, my question's for Michael Bisping. Michael, I've watched 2 fights of yours versus Luke Rockhold and then also versus Anderson Silva. 2 very similar fights. You won, but you won very differently. Can you tell me, what meant more to you in each fight? Was it the fact that you stood in there, you fought Silva, you grinded through, like you English people do, and then also, you knocked left hook Larry out with Luke Rockhold. So what was your, that was the only question I had because everybody asked you who you want to fight next.
I think I know what you're trying to ask me. And I think you're speaking English.
Try it.
So 2 years ago, pretty much, sorry mate, cheers, thanks for the question by the way. 2 years ago, pretty much, a couple of weeks removed, 2 years ago obviously I fought Anderson Silva here. And that was one of the highlights of my career. He was a guy I always wanted to fight. I always thought I could beat him. Of course, he was, Anderson Silva was the best of the best. We had a great fight in London. I thought I handled it pretty well in the 3rd round, obviously. I dropped my mouthpiece like a fucking dickhead and he nearly knocked me out. Fact is, nearly is the thing. I was on the floor, I wasn't unconscious, the fight carried on. I had to fight through a lot of adversity, but I really enjoyed that fight. And, contrary to whatever might be said prior to a fight, obviously, emotions run high. But I respect Anderson Silva. How can you not respect the guy? So for me, that was obviously a big thing. Of course, it was here at the O2 Arena, legendary venue, London, the greatest city in the world. So that's definitely one of my highlights. But winning the belt just about tops that. Of course, everyone wants to be world champion, and I've got there many times. I got to the #1 contender, and then I lost. Then I got to #1 contender again, and then I lost. Everyone said, you can't win the big ones. You can't win the big ones.
Michael,
but I never gave up. I never gave up, and when I got that shot, I took it, and one of the greatest moments of my life.
Can I ask you one question? So, in that Rockhold fight, being honest, I gambled on Rockhold.
How many beers you had?
No, seriously. Mate, but no, being honest, then when you knocked him out, it was good to watch. So how did you feel when you knocked him out?
Do you know what, to be honest, I mean, and Dan will tell you this in Paige, when you land a good shot, you feel it on your knuckles. You're like, oh, that was a good one. You know what I mean? It's like, oh. And we were there, and I went to the body, boom, over the top of the head. I was like, oh, ooh, and then boom, he fell down. And then he got up again. I was like, fuck off. And he went back down, and then he was there, and I was like, he's got good jiu-jitsu. I'm like, don't go in his guard. I thought, bollocks to that. Bing, 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 bing. Next minute, John McCarthy's got me in a rear naked choke. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that was the easiest fight of my life.
My favourite part of that is immediately after the fight's been stopped and you run straight over to the fence, you climb up, and instead of looking out to the fans, you turn into the octagon and point at Luke Rockhold on the floor.
Yeah, don't say it.
It just showed how much it meant to you, not only to get the win, but to get the win over him.
Well, because, he talked so much trash going into that fight. Totally disrespected me. I've had a lot of injuries in this sport, and, I've had problems with my eyes, and he was mocking my eye problem all the time. And I was like, how dare you? My eyes weren't always like this. And this happened to me through fighting. You know what I mean? And God forbid it would happen to you. And I don't wish it on any fighter. So for him to mock what happened to my eye, being a fellow fighter, I was just disgusted with him. You know, so that's what inspired me to go, fuck you.
Sit down. That's what you said, wasn't it? Thank you. Next question. We're on this side.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Paige. Oh, shit.
It's Friday, mate. It's Friday. UFC weigh-ins.
It's just weird because I'm 16 and my heart's beating. So sorry.
How's
Right,
it going?
basically, first thing, Mike, I'm an A-level student.
Okay,
Fight in the O2.
Right,
Don't go to Manchester, please. I can't go far. And 2, when did you realise...
Well, you've been in London.
Yeah.
You made it this far.
Yeah, this one, but do your next one here. Come on.
Get on the train.
Yeah, I should.
Go on,
Anyway,
sorry, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, when did you realise that you actually this is what you want to do as a career? Like you said that you started martial arts when you were 8 years old. But when did you realise that, okay, this is all I want to do? I don't want to, just...
So I started martial arts at 8 years old, and I was obsessed with it, and that's all I cared about. And I never applied myself at school, which obviously I massively regret. And any children in here, education is key. And obviously I sound like your dad and I'm lecturing you, but it's so important. Education is the key. But, I was an idiot. I was obsessed with martial arts. I left school at 16, and it was just, dead-end job after dead-end job, just like a lot of people, working class background. And, pardon me? Anyway, so I was working as I forget what I was doing. I was working as an upholsterer at the time. And the guy I was working with would say to me all the time, he said, Michael, you're an intelligent guy. He said, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? I'm like, fuck, no, of course. He said, well, give it some thought. While you're still young enough, you can do anything you want. So I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And I went up to him one day, I said, Mick, I figured out what I want to do. And he put like his tools down, he walked over, he's like, tell me, I can't wait. I said, I'm going to be a professional fighter. And he was like, you are a fucking moron. He thought I was going to say go to college and get a degree and this and that. But basically 2 children, a young family, needed to make some money, so that's kind of what inspired me to get into it.
Cool. And keep doing your podcast. Tell Lewis to stop talking as much.
Thank you. Next question, please, sir.
Thanks for listening.
Obviously, we've heard a lot about the Liverpool card today, but there's another hotbed of MMA which is in Wales at the moment. We still haven't had a card there. Do you think there's any chance that's going to come soon? And would any of you be interested in headlining that?
I think the UFC have designs to go to Wales, because I remember when I beat Rockhold, and then 2 days after that, I was still hungover, but 2 days after that, the UFC, Dana called me, and he said, we want you to fight Dan Henderson. So people like to talk a bit of smack. They say I called out Dan Henderson. No, they called me on Monday morning. Still had the bloody hangover. And said, you want to fight Henderson? I said, yeah, why not? I said, I owe him one, of course. And they said, do you want to do it in Manchester or Wales? I said, well, Manchester, obviously. So point of the story is the fact that they said that to me leads me to believe at some point soon they will be coming there.
Yeah. Absolutely, and you've got to think with the likes of, with the likes of Brett Johns and all the other guys that are coming through from Wales at the moment, it's only a matter of time before we get there. But Liverpool's the first stop, and then we'll be looking at Wales after that.
Do you think it'd be the Millennium Stadium, like a huge supercard, or maybe something smaller?
That's where they were talking about, yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Cool, thank you very much. Next question, please.
Hi guys, I just got a question for all 3 of you. I was just wondering, in your own time, what is your favourite combination to do on a bag or pads or during sparring? What is your favourite combination that you want to do every time?
Yeah, favourite combination.
Danny boy.
Take it away.
But I only throw one shot at a time, and I just wing it always as hard as I can.
That's a
So
good
it doesn't really matter what it is as long as it lands with a lot of noise. No, jab cross, left hook to the body, low kick. My favourite combination all the time.
Enough.
What about you, Paige?
Yeah, one actually that I landed in sparring quite a bit right before I fought Beck Rawlings is that switch kick to the head. I did that my last sparring session. I kicked Uriah right in the face with that one. So it was kind of like
You should have got that on video.
how I was going to knock Beck out. So yeah, that switch kick, I landed a lot.
I want to see that footage. I want to see you kicking Uriah in the face.
Oh, it was awesome.
To kick Uriah Faber in the head, though, is not very hard. Hold on, let me show. I just kicked him in the head. And again.
Yeah.
For me, anything that works. If it connects, good. I like jab, lead, left, high kick.
What about the left hook, Larry?
Whatever.
All right, cheers. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next question, please.
Hi guys. I was wondering, this question is for both Mike and Paige. Who would rather win if Dana would cut down to Sean Shelby's weight? Who would win?
Who would win out of Dana and Sean Shelby? Well, Dana's
Dana and
got a
Sean
career in boxing, so
Dana and Sean Shelby.
Yeah, Dana and Sean
looking
Shelby.
pretty jacked
Listen,
lately.
Sean Shelby's a great guy. He's awesome, but there's a bit of a height and size difference, you know. Sean Shelby last night, I actually commented. He was telling me all about this keto diet and this and that, and he's disappearing before my eyes. He's getting thinner and thinner, and I think it's fair to say that maybe Dana's having the opposite effect. He's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
You know, he's looking jacked, man. You know,
Dana
he's
looks
huge
jacked
right now. So
He looks good on the new game, doesn't he?
yeah. No, he does. He's on the UFC game now, of course. It's some favourable graphics, shall we say.
That's a
Of course,
body
it's
scan,
his
Mike.
company. They are going to make him look good.
It's a body scan. It's a lifelike body scan.
Yeah, come on. Gotta take Dana.
Although going back old school, Joe Silver's a ninja. I mean, he's been training for a long, long time. He's been studying martial arts for a long time.
Joe Silver's one
All
of
bets
the
are off with Joe
meanest
Silver.
guys ever.
Huh?
Joe Silver's one of the meanest guys ever. I'm not talking about in a fight, on emails.
Thank you. Great question.
Yeah, if we would turn it over and have a Dana versus Joe, who would
Sorry,
win?
I can't hear you, mate.
If we would turn it over and have a Dana versus Joe, who would win?
Dana and Joe Rogan.
No,
Silva.
Joe Silva.
Joe Silva. Honestly, as I said, Joe Silva's he's like Splinter off the Turtles. You know what I mean? Weight class is irrelevant. You just got to respect his martial arts skills and his knowledge, and just assume that he can always win.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you.
Next one, please.
Hi, my first question is for Mike, and then I have a question for the three of you. The first question to Mike is, in a sport that's built on the blood, sweat and tears of people that don't give up on their dreams, and you being at the helm of that, not only for the UK, but for the sport in general, what's your vision for UK MMA in the future?
Well, UK MMA right now is in a very, very strong place. Compared to when guys like me and Dan started, you know, it's unrecognisable. You know, I mean, of course, now all you people here were selling out arenas. Me and Dan started fighting in tiny little venues, you know, maybe 100 people, 200 people. There was no money involved. And of course, you know, we're very proud of how far it's come. It's been a lot of hard work. The UFC have done great. This weekend on the card, we've got tremendous fighters. You know, of course, I won the belt, but I'll be the first of many. And I truly mean that. There's a lot of good guys. Darren Till certainly got potential. Jimmy Manuwa is probably going to get a good win this weekend. And, you know, he's not too far from a title shot as well. But the UFC is expanding all the time. And actually soon, we had a press conference yesterday. UFC gym are opening here. And over the next few years, we're going to see 100 UFC gyms actually all over the UK. So a city somewhere near you, there's going to be UFC gyms, which are state-of-the-art training facilities, jiu-jitsu, boxing, MMA, ultimate fitness, spinning, you name it, all the classes you can think of in a beautiful location, pumping music, good for the kids, good for the family, and that's just going to help the growth of the UFC and mixed martial arts in general even more. So stay tuned for that one. Check it out. Cheeky plug.
Yeah.
Cheeky plug. Thank you very much. You've got another question?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, one more question,
just
please.
Just to the three of you, obviously Paige being a young fighter and both of you being legends of the sport, I actually have a lot of my cousins and siblings that are really young up there. For young people going into MMA, what would be your advice going forward?
Advice for the young, you know, take your time, make sure that you're safe, make sure you heal your injuries, make sure you do all your tests that you need to do to make sure when you're entering a fight that you're safe. Yeah, I mean, all the simple things. What about you guys?
Yeah, for young people that want to start it, you just have to do it. You have to get in the gym and decide to try it. Right now, I mean, I feel like we're in an era where you can do pretty much anything you want to. So if you have a desire to start training, just go out there and do it.
So if you want to be a fighter, let's say there's some people out here that actually want to do it as a career. You see people these days, they're so quick to rush it. They want to be a professional, and they don't really build the foundation. Me and Dan, we have backgrounds in traditional martial arts. Now, of course, these days, MMA has grown so much that it's actually become an art of itself. Mixed martial arts is a sport. It is an art within itself. But you've got to do the foundations. You've got to learn. You've got to take your time. Then do some grappling competitions. Have some amateur fights. There even used to be a thing, semi-pro fights. Work your way. You've got to get that experience. Too many people are quick to turn pro. And, of course, you know, on the low-level shows around the country, they need fighters, because they need to fill the cards. But people step in, and with the greatest of respect, they don't really have the foundation to be there. And if you do that and you get a loss in your professional record just when you first start, you don't build experience by being a professional fighter. You should have the experience as an amateur, as a martial artist, prior to turning professional. So if you want to do it, you want to choose this career, find a great team, take your time, train hard, but more than anything, take your time, get that experience, don't rush it.
Thank you so much.
That's great advice. Great advice.
Thanks, Bruce.
Next question,
hey,
please.
Bruce Buffer, ladies and gentlemen.
Next question, please, sir.
Question for Mike. Mike, how do you feel like the mainstream media have appreciated you over your run as, like, you know, one of the pioneers of British MMA? Do you think you got enough appreciation even after you won the title?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after I won the belt, we came to England. We did sounds a bit poncy. We did a little victory tour, and I was just overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed, man. We went to the Trafford Centre, and you know, I'm standing here talking to you guys, but like, for example, when I fought in Manchester, the fight was at 6 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, for the pay-per-view in America. And when they said they were doing it at 6 in the morning, I was terrified. I thought, geez, no one's going to turn up at 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? But the arena sold out in 6 minutes. It was incredible, so thank you all, of course. And then when I went to the Trafford Centre, which is a shopping centre in Manchester, again, they said, oh, you're going to do an appearance at Manchester with the belt. You know, I was like, oh, shit, no one's going to turn up. And there was thousands of people there. There was thousands of people there, and I couldn't believe it. It brought a tear to my eye. It really did, because I'm just doing my thing. Paige is just doing a thing. We don't think we're out here, you know, we're just trying to get by in life. This is our chosen careers, trying to look after our families. And the fact that so many people take notice, you know, it's mind-blowing. It really is.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
Thank you. Great question. Next one, please.
Nobody said this, I'm going to say this one. Paige Werdum, welcome to London. Very nice to see you here.
Thank you.
It's nice.
My question is for three of you, especially for you, Hardy. As a fighter, what do you think about, because I'm a big fan of Khabib, and as a fighter, what do you think, how is goes fight between Khabib and Tony?
Khabib and Tony.
Khabib and Tony.
What do you think?
What's going to happen?
Khabib and Tony. Oh gosh. You know,
walking away.
I think actually, okay, so this last time is the first time I'm new to the sport, and obviously I'm young. The first time I ever saw Khabib fight was this last fight that he did. First fight I've ever seen him fight ever. So, no, I was like, holy cow, this guy's a murderer. So I'm going with Khabib. He's like the best fighter I've ever seen. So I'm really excited.
Thank you.
So, Khabib is 22-0. You know, which is incredible.
25.
25?
Yeah.
They're even better. 25-0, that's incredible. I was 15-0 at one point, just throwing that out there. He's 25-0. There's a reason you have a record like that when you look at the competition that he's faced. Now, Tony Ferguson is a great guy. He lives in Orange County where I live now, and we have the same manager. So it's a difficult one for me to answer because I don't want to offend anybody. Tony Ferguson is a very, very unique fighter. He's very unorthodox, and he can pull out these crazy submissions. I think it's fair to say Khabib is going to take him down. I'm going to see some nasty ground and pound, but Tony is definitely capable of finishing the fight via submission. The only troublesome area I see for Tony, though, is his last fight against Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee in the first round took him down, mounted him, landed some heavy shots, and he was kind of saved by the bell. If Kevin Lee can do that to Tony, then Khabib sure as hell can. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough fight. I'm sitting on the fence. We'll see what happens.
Thank you. What about Hardy? Hardy, what about you?
Sorry, say that again?
What about you? You didn't say anything.
What about me? I'm being very diplomatic. No, to be honest, I feel the same about Michael. I lean slightly more towards Khabib because his game plan's proven over 25 fights. He's just marched his way through people. And you look at Tony Ferguson, and Tony's got a very scattered game. It's very creative, but the core of it is not based in basics like Khabib's is. So for me, Khabib's going to stick to what he always does, and Tony's got to kind of attack him from the sides and try and catch him with something. Imanari roll, one of those flying elbows, one of the switch step cross right that he throws. He's got loads of really nice things. And what is interesting is that because he's so unorthodox, it's unlikely that Khabib's faced somebody like that before. So there is that element of surprise there. And Michael will tell you this as well. When you see Tony Ferguson, it's amazing how long his reach is. He's got really...
he's very big for the weight.
Yeah, I mean, so he's very awkward. Can catch you with weird angles. So I'm leaning towards Khabib, but I mean, it's a razor-thin fight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your question. Next one, please.
I've got 2 quick questions, if that's okay. Mike, have you got any problem being co-main to Darren at Liverpool?
Obviously, you're a scouser. You would say that. Come on, mate. Get real. Come on, pal. Sort it out.
And then Paige, out of Mike, Dan, and Bruce, who's down there, who would just snog, marry, and avoid?
Fucking look at them. Come on.
Oh, boy.
That was to you. There's a lot of pressure on that question.
Bruce.
We need an answer.
Pressure. I gotta go with Bruce on that one.
Yeah.
Bruce Buffer for sure.
Bruce for all 3.
You just made Bruce's day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Buffer!
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce Buffer.
So the question was, Bruce, the question was...
I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
The question was a lot of pressure on Paige. She's got to choose which one of us, worthy gentlemen, she would kiss, marry, or avoid. We've all picked you, Bruce.
Where did I come in?
It's unfair, really, to bring Bruce in. I mean, he's like one of the additional members of the Rat Pack. He's got that swagger that nobody else in mixed martial arts has got.
I came up on stage thinking this was all about questions involving fights in the UFC. I didn't hear what was going on.
Not only has he stolen my microphone, he stands in front of me. Totally blocking me.
Here we go.
Come on.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Buffer.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you for your question. Next one, please. We must be flying through these. We must be running out of time. Matty.
All right, guys. Now, my question's for both Michael and Dan. You've both, in your own ways, been great ambassadors for UK MMA. Michael, you're obviously our first UFC champion that we had. Dan, you get involved with Polaris, Cage Warriors, all these, and also your analysis job. Do you ever see that going one step further into coaching to bring up the next crop of talent from the UK?
Well, yeah, I think we'll both get into coaching. Actually, now's a good time to talk about it. I'm actually opening a gym very soon, within the next couple of weeks. The Hardy Warled Mixed Martial Arts Academy will be open.
Can I come train there?
And Michael, UFC
well, I hate
Michael.
to break it to you, Dan, but we're opening 110 gyms. Listen, of course, I mean, I love this sport. It's been very kind to me, and I'm passionate about it. As I said, I started martial arts when I was 8 years old. That's 31 years. Just because, when the time comes, when I retire, just because I've retired doesn't mean I'm not going to be involved with the sport. Obviously, I do a lot of analyst work out in America. But, training people, I love martial arts. I love coaching. I love training. Obviously, I love competing as well. And as I say, we're opening the UFC gyms, and that's about bringing the message, spreading martial arts, spreading respect, dignity, fitness, confidence for children, all kinds of stuff, So the benefits of martial arts for young people, for children, is unparalleled. It really is. And, of course, when I'm retired, that's what I want to do.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Paige,
you. Great
welcome
question.
to London.
What?
He said, welcome to London.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question, please.
I've got one question, but I'll go first before getting to that. Michael Bisping, I saw you cage side when you fought Silva. I was cage side when you fought Henderson in Manchester, 2 of the best events of my entire life, and my jaw was on the floor. So, bottom of my heart, thank you so much. It was an honor to see you fight. Paige, your fiance is by far the luckiest man on planet Earth. You are perfect. I mean, you're beautiful, intelligent, funny. So let me just say, you're such a catch, right? First of all.
Thank you so much.
But my question is to Daniel Hardy, right, Mr. Corporate. Now, it's a very controversial question. I'm sorry about this, but Liverpool's coming May 27th. We all know Bellator's coming on May 25th to Bellator 200. We have got a competitive card. I'm a UFC guy through and through. Is it coincidence that you're booking the same card 2 days before, afterwards? And also, are you going to have a competitive card to match Bellator? Because they have delivered with some UK cards these past 2 years. I'm a UFC guy. I'm just, asking a fair question.
I didn't hear the end of it. Just give me the last part.
Are you going to deliver a competitive card for the UK market as much as Bellator has done in the past 2 years?
Well, absolutely. You know, to be honest, if anybody reads my independent column, read it for this time, because for the first time ever, I've mentioned every fight on the card. And I feel when Liverpool comes around, I'll be doing the same thing again, because as I travel around and I go to Cage Warriors and all these other events, I see this wealth of talent coming up. And because it's you know, the playing field's starting to even out, what with the internet. People can get online, they can see what mixed martial arts is as a sport. We couldn't do that back in the day. We couldn't get on YouTube and see what people are doing in Australia or in Japan or anything like that. We were kind of in the dark ages a little bit. Whereas these new kids now, techniques are being shared, so the level's very competitive across the world. So like for this card tomorrow night, it's one of the most competitive cards top to bottom I've ever seen. And I think they'll do the same thing with Liverpool, what with all the Liverpudlian talent around.
And what you got to remember as well is that there's so many UFC events these days. Now, of course, I get it. You want the superstars here. You want the Conor McGregors. You want Daniel Cormier's. You want people like that. But I mean, there's a terrific main event on tomorrow night. You know, Fabricio Werdum, former champion, and there's a ton of local talent. And that's what we need. We should be getting behind our English fighters. This is giving them a tremendous platform. It's the O2 Arena, going to be a sold-out crowd. Get behind our own people, build them up, make them the stars of tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We've got a great main event, we've got a fantastic co-main event, and hopefully we've got the stars of tomorrow underneath it. So I get your point. Everyone wants the mega stars, but it's still going to be an amazing fight card with lots of great English talent.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Next question. Thank you for coming dressed for the occasion as well. I felt a little bit left out being the only one in a tie.
It's from Michael. Darren Till's a huge welterweight. He's talked about going up to 185.
Shut up! Say again, bud.
Darren Till's a huge welterweight. He's talked about going up to 185. He's fighting in the UK soon. Would you be up to fight in there?
Do you want to fight Darren Till? I think we have a difference in generations here.
I've never met the guy. He seems like a lovely fella. No, I don't want to fight. I mean, plus he's 170. I fight at 185. And I've got maybe one more fight left in me, you know. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, you know, Darren's going to have a great future. My Thai boxing coach, Darren Morris, can't say enough good things about him. He knows him from the Thai boxing world. And I'm sure he's going to have a fantastic career. His last fight against Donald Cerrone was incredible. So the future's very, very bright for Darren. For me, you know, fingers crossed I do one more fight. And you know, I'm looking for someone that's, you know, of similar status to me. And I don't mean that detrimentally to Darren. You know, but he's an up-and-comer. You know, I want someone of similar status to myself. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of gets to the stage a little bit when you're a bit advanced in your years. I certainly feel like that now. If I wanted to come back and fight, I don't want to fight anybody that's on their way up to the title because I don't want to interfere with their career. And you must feel like that about Darren Till. I mean, he's on his way up, and you as an analyst now want to be able to sit back and watch and enjoy his career.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and as I say, I wish him all the best. You know, but you know, I mean, I've fought for a long time, as did you, Dan. I want someone similar, someone that is a household name in mixed martial arts. If it's going to be my last fight, I want it to be a big one. I don't want everyone saying, oh, he fought this up-and-comer, that's a weight class below. And again, as I said, that's not detrimental to Darren Till. As I said, I just said a lot of very nice things, and I wish him all the best. I want a proven 185er, maybe even a light heavyweight. I'll probably go up to 205 for my next fight. You know, cutting weight and dieting is a bit of a pain in the ass. And, you know, he's at 170. But thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Hi, Dan. What's up?
Hello.
Thanks for following me on Twitter. My question is to three of you really quick. I'd like to know, what would you do in my shoes to put yourself in place next to you, Dan, and next to, like, Joe Rogan and stuff, you know? I mean, I'm like 2 years in MMA, and I've been really interested in fighting all life, but I think I could be really, really good at this. What would you do to put yourself in place on top of the, like, a UFC media?
As far as a voice in the media, the best thing to do is just to start doing it. I mean, when me and Mike first joined the UFC, a lot of the interviews we were doing were, you know, MMA in your mum's basement, because, like, websites and, you know, all these good, strong media outlets had not really come to the sport yet or not really established themselves. Now, the beautiful thing with Instagram, with YouTube, you can start your own channel and you can talk about whatever fights you want. And if you can build a following, that is all you need. You need people to want to listen to what you have to say. So you just need a voice, and you just need to find that.
Okay, thanks.
And you've got to have an opinion as well. Don't sit on the fence and try and please everybody. Say what's on your mind.
Thanks. And you, Paige?
Say what's on your mind, then.
Okay. What is on my mind about MMA?
Joking, I'm being silly.
I love you, Mike.
Love you too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next question, please.
My first question is for Michael, and it's what's your favourite impression to do? Your Yole impression or George?
One more time.
Which impression?
Are you intoxicated? I am not afraid of you, Michael Bisping. That was one of my favourite exchanges because it was so genuine from the both of you. Do you know what I mean?
What's that?
Between you and GSP backstage at was it the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Yeah, the Hockey Hall of Fame.
That for me was the most exciting part.
What
of that
you mean when we had that argument?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll be honest. I'll let you into a little secret. I'm a bit of a dickhead. So
that's not a secret, Mike.
We had the press conference, and then afterwards we're there. And listen, George is a nice guy. Do you know what I mean? He is. He's kind of like a history teacher or something. You know, he's a total nerd. Good fighter, but total nerd. So I've got no bad blood with George, but you know, we're trying to sell pay-per-views. And TMZ were there, and I thought, hey, here we go, TMZ, let's go. Boom, 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 got it in his face. And then TMZ left, and I had a little laugh about it. So, you know, it wasn't manufactured, because he did kind of piss me off at the press conference, but you know, you got to play it up a little bit, you know.
It's a very British thing. I mean, I grew up around my dad, you know, picking on his mates at football, and you grew up in that same kind of environment as well. You know, people picking and wearing on each other and stuff, and I mean, it's a tactic, isn't it? It's a tactic that we've both used in our career.
Yeah, so they call it trash talk. I don't really like that expression, but the idea with that is, you know, there is a strategy to it. You're trying to make your opponent doubt themselves. Like, if you're at a press conference, he's there, and you're talking, I like to remind them when they've lost. I really like to remind them if they got knocked out or submitted or whatever. If they get tired, whatever their weaknesses are or whatever losses they've had, I like to remind them of that and make that fresh inside their mind. You know, so it looks like I'm being an arsehole, but I'm trying to put that self-doubt inside them. And if they doubt themselves, they don't really fight to the best of their ability. Like, if we're going to fight here, I've got to be committed to what I'm doing. I've got to believe I can beat this person. And if you don't, when you throw a punch, you kind of don't really throw it properly. And that's why at the weigh-ins as well, like you see the guys here a little while ago, some people get in people's faces. I'm kind of notorious for doing that. And you can win the fight almost on the scale, because that's the last moment before you're going to fight that you'll see each other. And you can get in their face and you can let them know, listen, this is on tomorrow night, mate. I'm coming at you. I'm going to knock you out. And if you know, get aggressive or whatever, you can get in their mind. They might think, shit, this guy's coming for me tomorrow. And then they're already beaten. And then the fight is just a mere formality. So, yeah, while sometimes it's not the most attractive thing to see, you're not exactly handling yourself with the best class, there is a strategy to it.
Thank you. Excellent question. Thank you. Next question, please.
Hi. My name's Angus McAlpine, one of the sports columnists for Horse and Hounds magazines. I just wanted to ask, based on plenty of anecdotal examples of athletes that describe their pre-rituals before fights. For example, Gareth Bale, the Welsh footballer, Real Madrid player, he has beans on toast before every meal without fail. This question is for all of you. Are there any pre-rituals that you guys undergo
Paige?
before fights?
Yeah, I used to have, I guess, pre-fight rituals, or I always walked out to the same song. I always wrapped my left hand first, so whenever I would get my hand wrapped, I would always have the person wrap my left one first. And then once you lose a fight, then all of those go out the window. So I was like, you know what, none of those work. That's all ridiculous. So then I just go in there and I let my skill talk. So now I don't have any rituals. I don't stick to anything that I used to do, and I just like to go out there and fight.
Yeah, I kind of agree. You know, I mean, I think all these people that are superstitious and they like to do this and they've got to wear certain shorts and blah, 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 blah. It's like, give me a break. Come on, you're going to go out there, you're going to fight. It doesn't matter which bloody leg you put your shorts on first or whatever. For me, you know, most fight days are the same. Now, I have a good breakfast in the morning. I'll have a little workout because the day before I've just done a big weight cut. So I don't want the first time I use my body in an athletic way to be in the fight. You know what I mean? I want to break a sweat. I want to get that heart going. So I have my breakfast, let that settle, then have a little workout. And then it's basically just relax, just take it easy. Try not to think about the fight. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to waste nervous energy. If you think about the fight, you talk about the fight, you overthink it, you're stressing it, and you're using energy. So watch a movie, chill out, talk to my kids, take a nap, kick some ass.
Fantastic.
Great question. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Next question, please.
So, question for Paige. In your last fight, obviously, you broke your arm in the first round. Do you reckon you could have knocked out Jessica if you didn't?
Oh gosh, I can't really think about that. This fight or like this world, you go out there and you try to injure your opponent, and unfortunately, I injured myself on her head. I did hit her really hard though, so that girl's got a really strong head. I broke my ulna on her forehead. I was shocked I didn't knock her out, which I was really bummed about. So yeah, I went in there, I got my arm all reconstructed and stuff, and now it's harder than ever. So. I don't think about what could have happened if I wouldn't have broken my arm. Now I just know for the next one I need to try not to break my arm. Or now, actually, I train. I'm sparring 100% now, just with one arm. So now if I ever get in that situation again where I only have one arm, I can still win the fight.
Next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Hello. First of all, I want to say congratulations on Paige on your engagement.
Thank you.
And my question is, what's on your views on the Miocic vs Cormier fight? What are your predictions?
For the what?
On the is it
Miocic
Cormier?
vs.
Yeah, the heavyweight fight. Miocic against Cormier.
For me, that's a great fight. Daniel Cormier is an amazing person. I'm a big fan of DC as a person and as a fighter. He's incredible. He's undefeated at heavyweight, I believe. He won the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, moved down to light heavyweight because he didn't want to fight his buddy Cain Velasquez. So that speaks volumes as to what kind of person he is. And he's beating great fighters. Roy Nelson, Frank Mir. I mean, the list goes on. He's beat Josh Barnett. A lot of big guys. Stipe Miocic, though, he's defended the heavyweight belt more than anybody else. He's a huge guy. He's going to have a big size difference, much bigger than Daniel Cormier. Plus, he can wrestle. DC, his biggest weapon is his wrestling. Now, of course, he's a better wrestler than Stipe, but Stipe can wrestle as well. Plus, he's bigger, and I'd say probably stronger. I think on the night, though, there's not going to be that much difference weight-wise. DC will probably walk in around 230. Stipe will be about 250. But he's used to fighting bigger guys. He's been knocking people out lately. Obviously just beat Ngannou. So, I don't know. It's a tough match for Daniel Cormier. But if anyone can pull it off, DC is the man. So, I don't know. Honestly, I don't see how that one goes. But looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Next question,
Sitting on
please.
the fence.
Hi, guys. I have a question for Mike. If you could punch someone for the last time, who would it be, Luke Rockhold or Dominic Cruz?
That's a good question. If you can punch somebody for the last time, I'm just going to back up a little bit.
Did you say Luke Rockhold or Dominic Cruz?
Yes.
If you've ever spent any time with Dominic Cruz, I don't need to answer that question. I worked with him as an analyst on Fox Sports. Woo, give me strength. Yeah, and Rockhold. Jeez, I mean, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I think I'll go with Dominic Cruz. Always pick on the little guy. It's easier.
Maybe you can do the old rampage trick and line them all up in a row and just run down the line. Catch them all, yeah. Great question. Thank you. Thank you. Next question, please.
You right, guys? My question is nice and simple. Out of all the martial arts, what is your favourite martial art?
Favourite martial art? Of all the martial arts, before we add them all together into mixed martial arts, which is your favourite individual discipline?
Yeah, for me, I think Muay Thai. Yeah, so I just got into a strict Muay Thai gym, and I've just fallen in love with it just because of the coach and who's coaching me. I met this guy. His name is Daniel Burke, and he has the Burke camp out in the States, and he has one of the top 5 Muay Thai camps in the entire world. And I was fortunate enough to get in with him, and holy cow, yeah, I love Muay Thai. That's the one I've been focusing on a lot lately.
What about, did you start with jiu-jitsu, traditional
I started with Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So I don't want to bore you all, a brief history lesson. Japanese jiu-jitsu is the oldest martial art in the world, and all other martial arts were taken from Japanese jiu-jitsu. So karate took the striking and enhanced it. Judo took the throws. Brazilian jiu-jitsu took the groundwork element and made it even better. That's kind of where all martial arts came from. I started off doing that, and that was MMA back in the day. We just didn't know it was MMA. I was competing in no-holds-barred tournaments at 15 years old with bare knuckle. What is the best martial art? I think the UFC proved there is no perfect martial art. Everything has weaknesses. That's why, that's why everyone cross-trains. That's why we do mixed martial arts. What do I enjoy the most? I mean, it all depends. I mean, I love having a good roll with somebody. I love sparring. I love kicking. I love doing jiu-jitsu. So it all depends. I mean, that's a really hard question to answer. I love all martial arts. And that's the beauty of martial arts. You never stop learning. You never stop learning, So, yeah. Sorry, I'm sitting on the fence again. Sorry, mate.
Thank you very much. You want an answer from me as well? I'll keep it real quick because we've got time for one more question. We have to wrap this up. My answer to you, for me personally, I love Muay Thai. That's my favourite style. The reason for that is, and I love mixed martial arts, I love every...
Fucking hell, I love Muay Thai as well.
You know, I love all levels of martial arts, but for me, I come from a self-defense perspective, and for me, I don't know whether I'm dealing with one person or three people. So, you know, for me, striking's always the favourable because you can switch one guy off and move straight on to the next one. You can't hold side control while his mates are kicking you in the head. And my teacher always used to say to me, and you'll have to think about this, it's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6. And I always kept that in the back of my head because if ever I was faced with a situation where I had to defend myself, I was doing it like I was defending my life. So for me, Muay Thai was always the best for self-defense. Now, as we talk about for mixed martial arts, there isn't one style.
If there's 12 guys, you want to leg it.
Beretta is Mike's favourite style. Yeah, great question. Thank you very much. We've got time for one more, my friend, and that's going to be you. Please fire away.
VanZant, listen, I've got a question for all of you first. Personally, who do you think was the toughest person you faced and why? That doesn't necessarily mean you have the win. You could have lost that fight. But why? What made it so tough? But that's one question. I've got another question for Michael.
Toughest person you faced?
Yeah, for me, definitely Rose was the toughest person I've ever fought, and went all 5 rounds with her. She cut me in the first round, stunned me pretty bad in that first round, and I wasn't able to recover. But throughout the whole thing, you know, I went to my corners. I was like, holy cow, she's countering everything I'm doing. So, yeah, Rose, and now you see she's the champion in the division for a reason. She's awesome.
What about toughest fight? Well, for me it was GSP just because I couldn't mount any kind of offensive. He shut me down entirely. And that was, for me, the most difficult because it was the most frustrating because I like a fight and I didn't get one that night and that killed me. That killed me a little bit. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there's been so many fights. One that stands out, you know, and it's not, you know, it doesn't make me look good. But UFC 75, I fought Matt Hamill. And I was on season 3 of The Ultimate Fighter with him. Did anyone see that fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, it didn't go too well for me. I mean, I won the fight by the skin of my teeth. But we didn't like each other on The Ultimate Fighter, mainly because we were competitors. He was my main competition for sure. But he couldn't really strike, but he was a Greco-Roman World Wrestling Champion, a Freestyle World Wrestling Champion, and strong as an ox. Anyway, back then, kind of like now, I was a cocky bastard. And I thought, I'm going to walk through this guy. And I trained, and I walked out. It was here at the O2 Arena. And I walked out, and waving at my mum. You know, hey, what's up to my friends and this and that. I thought, yeah, I got this guy, no problem. And fight, boom, he comes at me, bing, 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 smacking me to bits. At one point, he had me in a headlock, and he's just uppercutting me like this, like he was like I was his little brother or something. Blood's pouring out my nose, and I'm thinking, yeah, this isn't going to plan. This is not how I saw this fight going down. Anyway, I got out of the first round. Changed it up a little bit. Next 2 rounds, it was close, and I got a decision. Now, what I should have said on the microphone afterwards was, wow, that was a tough fight. Congrats to Matt. My God, he kicked my ass, and, you know, that was really close. It's not what I said, though. Well, I give him some shit. I said, yeah, back to wrestling, dickhead, and all this. And it, you know, I got a little bit of hate for that one, and, you know, I've grown up a lot since then. Lots of tough fights. Anderson Silva obviously was a tough one. But, yeah, no, I've enjoyed every single one. But as Dan said, I think that is the end, guys. Thank you all for being here and sitting through this. I'm sure you're all excited for the fights tomorrow night. Go off, have a nice meal, have a drink for me. Thank you all. Love you all. Hope I'm gutted I'm not fighting here. I really wanted to fight. I did. Hopefully soon, one more in the UK. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paige VanZant and Michael the Count Bisping. We'll see you tomorrow night. Be in your seats early. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.